In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this research agent. So let's try to run the prompt. For example, this one right here, which team qualify for the World Cup 2026 round of 32, right? This basically will get the latest information from the internet. Let's try to click send. Then as you can see, it's still loading in here. Then as you can see, we get this response, right? Mexico, United States, German, France, and etc. Pretty cool. So anyway, we are going to use Next.js and then AI SDK version 7. Then also we are going to try using the terminal UI. So the terminal UI is basically packaged to let you run the ToolLoopAgent or the interface chat on the terminal. That's pretty cool. This is really helpful for the local development, demo, then etc. right? And also for the AI model, you're going to get that from the Gemini, basically from the provider Google. Then we're going to use Gemini 2.5 Flash for the AI models. Then also for the latest information, we're going to get that from the Tavily. This video is not sponsored by Tavily, but I see this pricing is really cool. As you can see, we get 1,000 API credit per month. I'm just trying this, and let me try to log in to see how much that I'm doing for this tutorial. Just a 7 credit, right? So this is the API key basically. I also want to show you how to set up this terminal UI. This is really useful. As you can see, it's look like this. For example, I'm going to put this prompt: who is the biggest surprise team at World Cup 2026 so far? Hit enter. Then as you can see, we also get the response back. As you can see, it's get from the internet. Then as you can see, this is the result. We have this one right here. Here are the some of the biggest surprise team, which is Cabo Verde and etc. So let's try to learn how to build that. So let's take a look how we can integrate the Next.js with the AI SDK. So this is basically the documentation. Let me try to scroll here. Then as you can see, we have to install the AI, then the AI SDK / React. Then also we have to install Zod in here. Then also, if I use Gemini, I have to install the AI SDK / Google. Of course, you can just select whatever the provider you want to see in here. For example, Anthropic. And as you can see, you have to install this AI SDK Anthropic, right? Just whatever you want. Basically, I'm just using Google. So this is my prompt. Create a new Next.js app called Research Agent. Then install this dependency: AI SDK Google, AI SDK React, then Zod. Right, just copy that. Then I'm going to try to open my iTerm here. Right, so just open the open code as well. Now what we have to do, just copy and paste the prompt. Here we go. Hit enter. All right, it's done. So now I'm going to open it into my VS Code. My next prompt is create a env.local file with these two variables: Google Generative AI API key and Tavily API key as empty string. So let's just paste and running. Now let's put the API key value. I'm going to first go to my aistudio.google.com. Then in here, I'm going to create new API key. Then for the name, I'm going to say research agent, then create key, right? So now I have to just copy the value. Copy, then I'm going to close it. Now I just want to paste that right here. And also for the Tavily API key, let's just go to app.tavily.com. Then in here, as you can see, it basically just automatically redirect you to the dashboard after you log in. Then as you can see, this is my API key, so I can just copy that, then paste that right here. Because I'm using Google as a provider, there's a couple options for a model that I can choose basically. For this video, I like to using the Gemini 2.5 Flash. This is basically our best model in terms of price performance. I just want to use this one in here. This is my next prompt: create the research agent in libagent.ts using ToolLoopAgent from AI SDK with Google Gemini 2.0 Flash model and web search tool using Tavily API that fetch from this URL. With maximal 5 result returning title, URL, and then content. Set stop when to is step count 5. System prompt should say it is a research assistant that summarize findings in bullet point and always include source URL and response in the same language as the user. So just copy everything that, and then I just want to paste that to my open code. Then let's try to just running. Alright, this is done. So let's just take a look at the code. As you can see, this basically just create one file called agent.ts file. Let me try to open that on the lib/agent.ts. Then as you can see, this is basically the Google API key, right? And then paste that to the create Google generative AI. Cool. Then as you can see, this is the important part, basically export cons research agent, new tool loop agent. As you can see, this is the model. Great. Then this is the tool. So the tool is basically web search, come from the web search tool. So this is basically, as you can see, variable that running this tool in here. This is the description. Search the web for information using Tavily API. Then as you can see, this execute in here is basically will make a fetch post request into this URL, then put the API key as well. And then also, this is the instructions. You are a research assistant, summarize your finding in bullet points, always include source URL for each piece of information, respond in the same language as the user. Great, that's for the agent.ts. Before we create the front end, it's better if we use the terminal UI. So this is basically really useful. This package let you to run the ToolLoopAgent in an interactive terminal interface. It is useful for local development, demos, and internal tools where a terminal experience is enough and you do not want to build custom UI. So the way we install that is this one in here, right? This is my next prompt. Install AI SDK TUI, create a dev.ts file at the root that import.env/config, import the agent from the agent.ts file, and run it with run agent TUI from the AI SDK/TUI. So just copy that, and then I'm gonna go back to my open code, then try to running. Paste, then hit enter. Alright, this is done. So let's try to see what we get. As you can see, we have the dev.ts file, and this is basically just running the run agent TUI and paste the agent to research agent. Just that's it. So now we can just open the terminal and running this npx tsx dev.ts. So here I just want to run in that on the terminals. Here we go. Let's take a look what happened. And this basically will also install the TSX. So I just want to say yes. Then as you can see now, the terminal UI is just show right here. Pretty cool. We have the input and also the waiting for the input in here. Let's try to running this prompt in here. Who are the top scorer at FIFA World Cup 2026 so far? So I'm gonna hit enter and hopefully we get some error. Great job. So this model, Gemini 2.0 Flash is no longer available. Please update your code. So anyway, this is my bad. I should use 2.5 Flash, not 2.0, as you can see. All right, I'm just using this one in here. So just copy the model, then go back here, and I just want to paste that to the code. Open the agent.ts file. Then for the model in here, I just want to paste the Gemini 2.5 Flash. Close this, then run again like that. Hopefully this is working. I just want to copy the prompt, paste that, enter. Hopefully we don't see any error right now. And as you can see, guys, it works. The FIFA World Cup 2026 has not taken place yet. At least now we know that the AI is giving the response back to us. But the problem is the information is not from the latest information from the internet, right? So anyway, I'm not really sure why this is not working. So I just want to try to add another instructions in here. So this one, always use the web search tool before answering any question. Never answer from your own training data or knowledge. If you don't know something, search for it first. Now let's try. Here I just want to run that again. npx tsx dev.ts. Let's paste the prompt, then hit enter. Let's take a look at the result. Then as you can see, it's basically make a query, then pretty nice. Let me see the FIFA World Cup. We still get the problem. I'm not pretty sure. But as you can see, this basically make a web search, and this is done, but the result still look like this. So I think I'm going to try to use the API playground on the Tavily. So I'm going to put the query, top score FIFA World Cup 2026, right? And hopefully we get the response in here. Then as you can see, we get the response in here, right? It works basically. Let me go back to the code again, and then maybe we have to use this package. So I think we have to try to use that package. So here I'm going to go back to my open code. This is my prompt: install Tavily core package, then update the web search tool in agent.ts to use the Tavily client from this package. Instead of raw fetch, use Tavily API key to create the client and client.search query to search. Let's try to just copy that and paste that to my open code, and hopefully now it should be works. All right, this is done. So let me try to close that. And as you can see on the agent.ts, now we should use the package, this one in here, right? Tavily. Then it's basically running this client, put the API key, then also do the client.search, right? Cool. So now hopefully it works. I'm going to run that again, the TUI npx tsx dev.ts. Then as you can see, it's make a fetch to the web. Then as you can see, guys, we get some response in here. The FIFA World Cup 2026 has not taken place yet. We still get this problem. So anyway, guys, I'm still trying to fix this problem. So my prompt is update the agent.ts with two changes. First is add today's date to the instructions so the agent know the current date is June 2026. In the web search tool, add search depth advanced, then I'm going to hit enter. Alright, this is done, but as you can see, it just put the hard code date in here. I don't want that. Let me try to see this one in here. I just want to put this value, right? New date to string. So I have to change the quote in here. Now let's try to save that and try to running that again. Alright, so let's running the same prompt, then hit enter, then hopefully now it works. Let's try to wait. Then as you can see, guys, it works finally. The top score at the FIFA World Cup 2026 are Lionel Messi, then Haaland, then Mbappe, and then etc. Right? This is works finally. Really good job. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create the API route. This is the prompt. Create an API route at the api/chat/route.ts that import the agent from the lib agent.ts, read message from the post request body called agent, stream with the messages, and return a data stream response. So I'm going to copy that and paste that to my open code and just hit enter. All right, it's done. So let's take a look what we get. I'm going to open the api/chat/route.ts. Then as you can see, this is the route. Pretty simple. It's basically we can make a post request in here, grab the messages from the request.json. Then finally in here, it's return the create text stream response. Stream equals to result.text stream. That's what we get from the route. Right, so now let's try to create the chat UI. So anyway, this is my prompt to create the UI. Create beautiful chat UI in app/page.tsx using use chat hook from this AI SDK/React with this requirement, right? The full screen layout and sidebar show the titles, etc. Chat area show the messages. Assistant messages should render markdown with proper formatting and etc. So let's just copy everything, then go back here. I'm going to paste that to my open code, and hopefully this is working. As you can see, it's also installed the React Markdown package and also React GFM. All right, this is done. So let's take a look what we get. As you can see, I'm going to open the page.tsx. Then this is basically the component. The important part is basically this right here on the top. Then as you can see, we can grab the messages. This is basically all messages that we can get from the use chat hooks. So use chat hook is basically hooks come from the AI SDK/React. Then as you can see, we can running the send messages function in here. As you can see, it's running right here that we send the text right on the on form submit functions. We can grab the status, we can grab the stop value, we can set the messages as well. So that's everything we need to know right here. So now let's try to see the UI on the browser. Then as you can see, look really nice. I love that. Let me try to click this one, and yeah, it also works pretty nice. All right, so for example, I'm gonna click this example prompt in here, who are the top score at FIFA World Cup. I'm gonna click send. Then as you can see, we have this loading, searching the web. So anyway, it show the result. As you can see, I love that. We have this response, as you can see, as of June 25, 2026, the top score are Lionel Messi and etc. Right? We get the response back. Pretty nice. I love this. As you can see, guys, this is work. I'm gonna put all the code on the GitHub. Link should be on the description. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on another video.